Right, welcome back to episode 2 of TheHatTrick Extra Time. The World Cup warm-ups are officially in the history books. England have gone toe-to-toe with New Zealand and Costa Rica. And let me tell you, some of the takes from the boys last week aged worse than milk left out in the sun. As always, I'm Loza, and I'm joined today by Jimka. Congratulations, Jack, on predicting the game against Costa Rica right in our last podcast.
Thank you. We won't talk about my prediction of New Zealand, but I'll take the 3-0 prediction. Thank you.
I don't think anyone wants to talk about our predictions on that game.
Yeah,
not my intro.
No. I've got an explanation for it, but let's get started. Come on.
Right, cool. So today we're going to cover our friendlies against Costa Rica and New Zealand. We're going to dive into the stats, player ratings. Then we're going to put in and introduce one of our new awards of our podcast called a Pub Pundit Award. Pub Pundit. Yeah, it's a bit, proper tongue twister that is. Which is going to be basically every week we're going to pick a comment from social media regarding the football, and we're going to kind of roast them on the podcast, which will be nice and fun. And also introducing this week VAR from the Truth. Again, another bit of a comical mix into our podcast, which will dive into a correct VAR decision, and we're going to come up with a ridiculous conspiracy as to why that's happened.
I love it.
And then we'll finish off with our upcoming games, potential XI and formations as well. So let's get started. We're going to look at obviously our game against New Zealand.
We've got a lot of explaining to do, haven't we? Really
big explaining, yeah, for England fans. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1-0, pretty poor performance, I would say, against one of the lowest ranked teams. I think they are actually the lowest ranked team in the World Cup this year.
They're ranked 85, FIFA ranked, and that does seem on the lower part of it, maybe the lowest.
Yeah.
Do you know what? They had little stints of catching us on the counter. They weren't terrible, but let's be honest, we should have smacked them 4-0 like my prediction was.
Easily. Potentially even more, really. Like, we look at player ratings there. Some of their best players, 7.4 for their centre-back. Everyone else, pretty much, not clearing much above 7. Which is shockingly bad, really, isn't it? When you look at things.
Yeah, I think our lineup, our initial lineup was half and half. If we're to pit the bones about it, and especially me kind of like backing up my prediction. I think I predicted 4-0, and I think I was expecting us to start a full lineup, and in hindsight I shouldn't have expected that, because our front line was strong with Watkins, Rogers, Rashford and Kane, but we had a midfield two of Mainu and Henderson, and then our back line had Kwanzaa and Spence at wing back. And if you watch the game like I did, the Kwanzaa and Spence were the two worst players on the pitch, and they looked totally out of place.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean it's better. I mean, I know we touched on this before the podcast, but Spence, he got the assist, but the problem is in terms of end products, he's trying to make the right things happen, but there's just nothing there, is there really?
It's the wrong profile, I think, and I think we saw that when he was taken out for Nico O'Reilly in the second game. You just saw a total different profile, who's someone who's more comfortable in that role. Jed Spence, every time in that New Zealand game that he was running on that left wing, overlapping Rashford and trying to help the team, he was always so nervous on the ball, and he's had a whole season at Tottenham where he hasn't been able to do that, and he's had no kind of sharpness in that last third to be able to pull something off. And I will give him his dues, it was a good assist, but he had to do a lot of things wrong to get that eventual assist, and there was quality behind it, but he's a professional footballer who's probably going to end up being a wing back for Tottenham if they end up having a good finish in the league. But
I think that's a big point you just made, wing back. With the formation that he's picked, he's went with a 4-2-3-1. Now, really, all right, against a side like New Zealand, he had a chance to go up the pitch. Against a better side, there's no way he's going to be a wing back. They're going to have to keep a solid 4 unless the formation changes slightly to allow him that space to move up the pitch.
He's a fullback. Let's get that clear. He's not a wing back. He's a fullback. He's a defending fullback who wins his duels. He's brilliant at winning his duels. He's brilliant at defending. I'll give him that. But in the last third, I say more?
It's not enough. Yeah.
No.
I mean, his heat map shows him he's mostly around their half, just before the halfway line. I think that was pretty clear from the game as well. I mean, he's got a 7.4 rating here on SofaScore, which I'm using, which is quite extraordinary.
Joe, we had 71% of the ball. If he was anywhere lower than our halfway line, I would have been majorly worried.
Well, being a Tottenham player, you never know, mate.
Yeah, honestly, after their season. But we had 4 shots on target that game. 4.
Yeah.
Which wasn't enough.
A total of 23 shots, which is shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Need 20 shots that aren't going on target.
There are some excuses. The pitch was awful. The pitch was absolutely awful. It looked like a farmer's field. Every time, Rashford was probably our standout player in that game. He created the most opportunities. I saw him cut in a couple of times, and he has a shot on him. We know he's good at shooting when he cuts in, and the shots were awful. And they had this bobble on the ball every time he took his shot, and that, I'm not one to make excuses, but I'd like to think we're better than what I saw.
Yeah, definitely. It's not an excuse, is it? I'm not being funny. We have people, a lot of this country play Sunday League, so I'm pretty sure you know exactly what you're talking about with a bobble on a pitch. Yeah, and some of us can bang in some bangers. So
bless Rashford, he's used to that Camp Nou pitch, and it's velvet pitch, and so
red carpet rolled out for him.
Yeah, honestly.
Not in America.
No bubbles on that, is there?
No. But yeah, I mean, England should have really torn them apart. Even the XG is only 1.45 for England, which isn't overly convincing, is it?
They put 11 men behind the ball. They had little to no chances. They had 4 touches in our box the entire game.
It says a lot, though, damn.
Yeah, they didn't stand a single chance of scoring against us, and I think that's going to be our strength going forward, and I think that's what Tuchel wanted, especially with his lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
I also want to bring up Gerald Kwanzaa playing at right back. He was worse than Spence. He was in totally the wrong role. Tuchel had him assisting the right winger who was it against New Zealand? Madueke was starting. He was overlapping Madueke, and he was assisting him. And again, he looked just as. Oh, was it Madueke?
No. We had Watkins and
Rodgers out on that right side. Watkins was in the middle. I think honestly, it might have been a 4-4-2 with Watkins and Kane in the 2 strikers. Kwanzaa just looked totally out of place. He's a centre half. He's played the whole season for Leverkusen in Germany in a back 3, and he's been that right-sided centre half. And then Tuchel in this Friendlies had him playing right wing back, and you could tell that's not his game. But it's interesting to see that we have the rotation on for that right back role. We have Jed Spence who could play that side, Reece James who's going to start, and Kwanzaa who can do it, but keep him away, in my opinion.
Bench is the best place for him.
Yep.
I mean, you can't fault any of that. We've got to dive into a bit of a statistics there. I know we've touched on it quite a lot. I know Tuchel's are very much likes moving a ball possession based, and we touched on it. Senko the FA said last time on our podcast, about it being very possession based. I mean, we're both aware we've done FA coaching courses, and that's what they try and teach. 658 passes in that game England attempted, which is extraordinary, really, isn't it? Of those, 609 accurate passes. it says a lot with possession-based football. He wants to keep the ball 71% possession as well. It says a lot. Going into the final third, 208, successful passes in the final third, out of 245 attempted. So, you're really looking at, full-on possession-based football, going into this World Cup, which is going to be hard against the lower-ranked teams because they're going to have 11 men behind the ball.
11 men behind the ball, and I think Tuchel, that's why he's chosen a set-piece team with the tall profiles and set-piece takers. I think that's the way we're going to get round that. Harry Kane dropping deep, and we'll talk about the Costa Rica game and Harry Kane doing really well, but I want to highlight Elliot Anderson against New Zealand, who came on in the second half, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he's leading all the passing stats of the team. Came on in the second half, and he's got the most successful passes. He's got, what else has he got? He's got the most touches on the ball at 61, more than Henderson, who started the first half. Elliot Anderson is a special player, and I think he's burst onto the scene quite remarkably, in my opinion, playing for a Forest side who's hasn't lit the world on fire, but he's certainly made his name known. I think
he's been quite underrated as well over last season. Not as much now, obviously, with all the transfer news surrounding him and the big moves that potentially he could have, but he's definitely been underrated, and he really did strive on that pitch against New Zealand. Kind of just wanted to control the game, wanted that ball back. Player 1, 2, receive back, and then look and go.
Yeah, the stats say that. It was phenomenal. He's just so calm on the ball, so reliable. I think reliable is such a good word for having a number 6 on the pitch.
Definitely.
You just want them to be reliable. You don't want them to lose the ball. He didn't lose the ball, and if he did, he won it back almost instantly. He was strong, and I think he's going to be starting against Croatia, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We go back to crosses. So this is a really key stat, actually. So England attempted 26 crosses. Only 4 were successful.
Do you know why, mate? Like Jed Spencer, the ones are putting them in.
That's shocking. 15% conversion rate, which is appalling. Especially, as we're saying, like set piece team, gonna add crosses into that because they're gonna look to go wide, cross the ball, and I think we saw that a lot across the last 2 games. And it's not acceptable, is it really?
I don't think we're a crossing team. I don't know. I think we're going to be a possession team where we're going to be creating chances centrally, looking for Harry Kane, looking for the inside forwards of Rashford and Gordon and Rodgers and Saka. Yeah, I think they're going to be cutting in and shooting, and I think we saw that with Rashford creating the most opportunities, creating the most chances with 5 chances.
Yeah,
he was probably the outstanding player. And we'll talk about the second game against Costa Rica, where Gordon and Rashford having that little competition between them.
Yep.
But Gordon lit that game on fire against Costa Rica, and Rashford lit the game on fire against New Zealand. That left side is looking hot.
Oh yes, definitely is. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? So, stat wise, tackles won 69% for England. They're pretty easy at the back anyway. Nothing really too concerning, was it?
No.
Jordan Pickford didn't have much to do. When he was on. So it's an easy game for England. Just the fact that they didn't take more of their chances, which was pretty appalling.
I think that, man, it's a little bit difficult because we're England fans and we want England to just dispatch teams 4-5-0. But at the end of the day, I think Tuchel's really looking for a solid result and us to be solid at the back, because that's what wins tournaments. Attack win games, defence wins tournaments, and I think that's the England way in it, and that's what we've seen the last World Cup, and the World Cup before that is us just being so strong with this 4-2-3-1.
Yep. 2
holding mids, a back 4, just not giving the team anything.
No, definitely. And still, you look at the better teams in the tournament, your Spain's, your France's, Argentina's. Are they going to finish 1-0 against a team like New Zealand? You've got to look at that as well. I don't think so. I think that they're going to score multiple goals. I think that's the only problem with England is the lack of goal scoring compared to shots.
Listen, we won't talk about France because they lost 2-1 against Ivory Coast in their first friendly.
Very true.
And they had 60% of the ball. They had double the amount of shots. They just stunk the house out. So if you are not solid at the back, you will get punished. You know what I mean? And that's what we have. We have a solid, defense where we just don't concede, and that wins tournaments. We'll see how it goes, though. Jesus.
Certainly will. Right, let's move on to the Costa Rica game then. A little bit more exciting for England fans. This one really, wasn't it? Winning 3-0.
Yes.
You said Declan Rice scoring early on in the 9th minute. Annie Gordon penalty in the 68th minute, and then Ollie Watkins rounded off in the 87th minute. I mean, it was, and gonna touch on Annie Gordon because I think he was absolutely incredible that game.
Yeah, I mate,
assist,
the stats.
goal.
Yeah, the stats are insane. We had 81% of the ball, and I think the lineup says a lot. This was our starting lineup, apart from maybe one or two. Madueke isn't a starter, and we saw that in the game. We'll talk about him in a minute because I think he's the outstanding stinker.
Agreed.
Stones is one that is iffy. I think Tuchel was playing him for his fitness. We had 81% of the ball, 29 shots, 9 on target, which almost tripled our stat against New Zealand.
Yep.
46 touches in the box. That was the performance to be proud of, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Again, against a low-ranked side, that's the result you kind of wanted against New Zealand, really. At least they went out and showed it this time. I mean, a lot more, quite a bit more possession. It was just something else, wasn't it, for England, really?
It was just quality all over the pitch. Our fullbacks were brilliant. Reece James and Nico O'Reilly.
I think that goes back to the previous game, without Quansah and Jed Spencer. That's the difference in quality that James and O'Reilly bring to the team compared to those two.
Didn't they just look comfortable? Reece James was like in that little half space behind Madueke, and he looked comfortable in possession. He looked comfortable putting a cross in. Nico O'Reilly's an absolute baller, helping Gordon out on that left side. I think our counter press was so good because they're used to playing that position. We lost the ball and we just completely enveloped them, and it was just brilliant to watch. Everyone on that pitch just was world class that day. Bellingham looked quite good as well.
Yeah, I know we touched on Bellingham previously. We mentioned about the squad last podcast. But he, compared to his season at Real Madrid, he actually looked decent on the ball when he got the ball.
Yeah. Every time he received it, looked like something would happen.
Yeah,
and something
trying
did
to
happen.
drive and, make the space or make things happen. It was good. I got to look at Declan Rice as well in the middle. Again, compared to obviously Mainu and Henderson, who started the New Zealand game. He just provides that extra bit of quality, doesn't he, really, in the middle
I
of the
remember
field.
there was one point in the game where we lost it, and Declan Rice had a one-on-one kind of foot race with their attacker, won the foot race, shifted the guy, and let the ball roll out, played for a goal kick, and it was just so simple and so effortless, yet world-class.
Yeah, 100%.
Baller. I really like him, and he's going to be pivotal to our success. I
agree. I definitely think so. It's just that something else, isn't it? That we need. It's something interesting here is the average positions on the field, right? So this is a starting lineup. Obviously, there's subs and stuff like that, but this is a starting lineup against Costa Rica. Now, Reece James's starting position is not far off Madueke, so it's just in their half, a bit further on from there. Nico O'Reilly is pushing right onto Gordon as well, being higher up the pitch, which is insane. And that's exactly what's going to give us that edge I think if I mean they got to start really, haven't they? But if they start, that's what we need is that those positionings overload each side of a pitch. But it was just a brilliant performance all around. You can't
It's
fault it.
interesting because I mentioned about Rice tracking back, and yet he was the one to score the first goal. He's a
Yeah,
proper little box to box. He's quite a good box crasher, isn't he?
yeah,
Where
yeah.
he gets in there, gets involved. He was running beyond the strikers, and I think that is going to be vital for us having some success because Kane loves dropping deep, and we can't just have our left winger and right winger make all the runs. They're going to die in this heat. We need our fullbacks running. We need our centre mids running. We need Bellingham running. And Bellingham's got the experience of playing a number 9 for Madrid in his first season.
Yeah.
Rice is making runs and he scored the first goal. Mate, everything is looking really, really good going into our first game against Croatia, against an old, aging team.
Yep. And probably the most important game in our group stage, really.
Oh, the most difficult one.
Yeah.
Let's get that clear. Yeah.
So it's definitely the positive side. Again, we look at possession stats. We touched on obviously 81% possession, 562 passes, which is insane. Again, 509 accurate passes out of that. So you can clearly see keeping the ball again, moving the ball.
Quality.
Yeah, it's just perfect, isn't it? Again, we're going to passes in the final third, 211 completed out of 242 attempted. Again, 87% conversion rate of passes in the final third, which is, exactly what they need to keep that ball, keep it moving against teams that are going to sit, 10, 11 men behind the ball.
I've seen an interesting stat here. Do you know what? Like normally when a team wins convincingly like this, you got to
Yeah,
hold on to your lead,
yeah,
and we held on to it. We were comfortable, right? Normally teams get yellow cards, like professional fouls, just like let's keep our 3-0 lead. Do you know how many yellow cards we got?
go on.
None. We
Yeah, it
had
says a lot,
total
doesn't
and
it?
utter control. Yeah, beautiful.
Especially the way the referees are in this tournament now.
that Mexico game. We'll talk about that in a
Yeah,
bit,
we'll
but
mention that in this
that's
little bit
quite
later.
interesting.
I also want to bring up, though, in terms of crosses again. So we also mentioned previously 15% conversion rate of crosses in the game against New Zealand. Well, we attempted 24 crosses against Costa Rica and only 4 being successful again. 17%
Mm.
conversion rate.
We do not have anyone in that box who can score from a cross. Harry Kane,
Probably the only one who
like,
potentially could.
yeah,
He
but
scored against with Jed Spence against New Zealand. Against New Zealand
mm,
was a cross and
anyone
look on.
else?
Nah,
Nah,
Ollie
not really.
Watkins is not that kind of player.
No.
I don't think there's anyone else who's going to be able to do that for us, really. The only way I can see it is if someone's coming in from a back post, running in, getting onto the ball. But all our players really attacking wise, all kind of playmaking style. They want to move
Yeah,
the ball on their feet
transition
and
players.
yeah,
Yeah.
knock it inside, get a shot away, or release a ball. Penetrative pass through the middle to try and knock someone through rather than crossing the ball. And interestingly, obviously, go back to formation as well. 4-2-3-1 again. Now I know Tuchel's been a man that he has been quite spread out with the way he has formations. Chelsea played 3 at the back. So I think it's always something that we didn't touch on it last week, but something that a lot of people may have looked at and gone, actually, how is he going to make this team play well? Is he going to go 3 at the back? Is he going to do the 4-2-3-1, which he does commonly do as well? Does it work?
Mate, it is working, and I think he's chosen the right formation for this group of players, and I think England is a team, a squad that is used to playing 4 at the back. I think we've
Yeah,
got fullbacks. I think we've got holding midfielders. I think we've got attacking midfielders. We've got wingers. We've got strikers, and I think the 4-2-3-1 is just perfect for them. And I think that just speaks volumes in that Costa Rica game. Potentially in games where we are 1-0 up in like a knockout game, he might go 3 at the back and have some wing backs and have five at the back in when we don't have the ball, potentially. But there's nothing wrong with what I'm seeing.
I'm going to touch into his history, Thomas Tuchel, with used formations, right? So his most used formation is 4-2-3-1, which we can kind of see anyway.
Is that an official stat? That's interesting.
Yep, so that's most used formation he's used across his games. So Mainz, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, he favoured the 4-2-3-1. Especially at Bayern Munich, he heavily leaned on the formation because just the way the players or the structure of the players, they were accustomed to playing it. It worked well for him, hence winning so many league titles, obviously. When he went to PSG, so obviously he had his stint as PSG as well. So his actual first choice set was a 4-3-3. And he frequently deployed a 4-2-2-2 as well, depending on what teams he come up against. So he could use a high press style play. And then we'll go to Chelsea, being a Chelsea fan, obviously. He primarily used a 3-4-2-1. And he used back three in 55 out of his 63 Premier League matches. But he was in charge of Chelsea. He
quite flexible, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he's used loads, and at Chelsea he relied on the two number 10s really, and the attack-minded wing backs to help obviously the depth and bring them up the field and stuff like that. Which with Nico Riley and Reece James actually would suit them really well because they like to push up that pitch. But three at the back is risky in a tournament game. You don't have enough chances. You 100%. Don't have 40 games or 38 games across the season. One loss. It affects the team, but not massively. But in the group stage, one loss, could mean you're out.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous, obviously.
Yeah, there was words in the commentary team in that Mexico game when they won. They were saying they've won their first game, and looks like they're good now. You win one game and you look good for that group stage.
And I think the big thing is now with more teams in the World Cup, you look at the top 2 are through, and then 8 of 12 third place teams go through. So you get a win, you're pretty much in good stead.
Yeah.
It just depends on goal difference, I suppose, doesn't it? Being if you lose both next games, it just depends on your position and how well your goal difference is compared to the other teams. 4 teams getting knocked out third place, so you got a massive chance with one win. I'm going to touch on as well the history of England as well in terms of formation wise, which I think is quite good as well. So we go back to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. England flipped a few times between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. They obviously heavily, lean towards 4-2-3-1 during that time, and I think it's always been a constant thing with England. Euro 2024, they started a 4-2-3-1 system as well. You had Declan Rice and Trent operating as a double pivot in the centre of a pitch as well. So I think it's more so as well, it's just a constant formation that England have stuck with. They're used to it. A lot of the players are used to it, so it's ideal, really, isn't it, to stick with it?
Well, it's just a perfect fit, isn't it? When the FA were looking for their new manager after getting rid of Southgate, they were looking for a 4-2-3-1 specialist, weren't they, really? And Tuchel didn't have a job. He was at the top of that list. He had to have been. He's a tournament winner. He's won the Champions League. He's won multiple league titles. He's a brilliant manager. He's a tactician. He's flexible. He's made to manage a squad like England. There are question marks over him being German and such, but profile, again, we talked about profiles. The profile's perfect.
Also, I think you've got to touch on the fact that he's an elite manager. You look at some of the English managers we've had. Gareth Southgate, very good manager.
Great man manager, yeah. But
he's not in that elite category.
Well, no, the best team it managed was what, Middlesbrough? Yeah, come on.
I think so, yeah.
Listen, I love Southgate, but there are levels in this game, aren't there? Really?
Yeah. And another interesting stat with Tuchel actually is that he's actually deployed a back four in 75.4% of his club matches.
Wow.
Yeah. So as much people, associate him with a back three system, and I think mainly in this country because of being at Chelsea with a free back, he introduced that, and they played really well with that. Going on, he won the Champions League with Chelsea as well. So, but that says a lot about having forward at back and his nature to be able to deploy that. And I think, like you say, when England were they're looking at something like they wanted forward at back for stability. They're used to playing forward at back, so he's your ideal man, isn't he, really? Right, so let's move on. Now we've kind of cleared that all up. To our Pub Pundit Award.
Here we go.
First time. So, I obviously mentioned this a little bit earlier, but basically, we're looking at something someone said on social media. We'll kind of review it, roast it if we have to, and so on. Obviously, it's only me and Jack today. But Jack, mate, you can go ahead first, mate, and
right now
give us your Pub Pundit Award.
Right, this is so fitting because the word pub was actually used in this. Roy Keane talked to Gabby. No, he talked in one of his podcasts. Some of you might have heard this, but he mentioned about John McGinn in his podcast being, when he's not on his day, so an average game for John McGinn, being a pub player. John McGinn, a pub player. A pub player. Like, crazy, I think that's brutal. Now, I think he's insinuating that John McGinn, when he's on his day, is quite a good player, and we've seen that for Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been brilliant this season, and John McGinn's been at the heart of that.
Yeah, they rely on him heavily.
But to say that John McGinn, not on his day, is a pub player, like, that's saying, like, my dad, he's like my dad. It's like, come on, mate. My dad goes to the pub and play. Come on, mate. Have a word here, Roy. I think that's totally brutal. I think it's harsh. I think he's doing it for the clicks. I think the PR team has told him to say that, and I think Roy Keane has had an absolute mare.
A mare is an understatement.
Roy Keane, I'll fight you.
Mate, right? Has he been down the pub when he said that?
Honestly,
he's had a few too many.
I think he's had a few bevies, and he's thought, John McGinn, pub player. Yeah,
pub player. That's incredible, isn't it?
That's brutal.
My God. As you say, that he's been an absolute rock for Aston Villa. Yeah, everyone has their off day, but they've heavily relied on him as well, and he's come up big in some of their big games. They run up to the Europa League. So.
Yeah, like John McGinn, let's not get it twisted. He is not the Lionel Messi of football, is he? He's not technically incredible, but do you know what he is? He's Scottish, and he's a brute. You can tell he's Scottish in the way. Yeah, you can tell he's Scottish in the way he plays. He's just an absolute brute. Works hard. Has an absolute rocket in his right foot. He's a player, but let's not go calling him a pub player, Roger. Come on.
Please don't. That's quite fitting for a pub pundit award.
There we go. Thank you.
But definitely not. No way. Not a pub player. God.
No.
Okay, right. Here we go. Here's mine. So this is actually from Reddit. I got this from Reddit. Some guy said on here, and it's relating back to kind of the American hype you see in the NFL and stuff like that. Players that have their own entrances, don't come out as a team like we do in the football and the Premier League and stuff. So obviously they wanted to really hype that up for this. They have a lot of flyovers with planes and stuff like that. So this one person said they flew a Cold War era B-52 bomb over a stadium for a football match. A B-52, first built to bomb the USSR, now being used to hype up a 0-0 draw in the group stages. If Iran plays a match in a tournament, are they going to bring out an aircraft carrier for the coin toss? I feel like I was watching an action movie, not a sport. It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Absolutely incredible. I obviously he's hitting at the war as well over there at the moment, but you know, it's insane, and I totally get it, because what they do over there is another level to things we do. We won't get planes flying over our stadiums very often.
No, we don't.
And to be honest, if we did, I think we'd be terrified.
Yes, the Americans just do things just to the next level, don't they? Really. And I think if Iran do have their game and they bring out an aircraft carrier, World War III is going to take over the World Cup. Let's just be honest here.
I think we're done for, aren't
we? I think we're done for. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right, well, there you go. We got that's a Pop Pundit Award. Please comment below who your winner is, and we'll mention it on our next podcast. So please get involved.
Have any of your own as well? I want to hear some more.
Yeah, let's see crazy comments you can find in social media across the week. Drop a comment, and we'll mention it on stream next time as well, as part of our Pop Pundit Award. Right, we'll go back now to a bit more proper football talk than pub player. And we'll look at our upcoming game against Croatia. I think that's going to be one of the big ones, isn't it, really? Mentioned briefly earlier about being the biggest game in the group stage. We should easily win our other two games. No stress, really. We obviously mentioned about our XI earlier, but we'll briefly touch on who we think is really going to start for us. So, Croatia, Jack, you know, how do you think we're going to perform against them?
Okay, do you know what? After seeing against Costa Rica and knowing this team, I think we'll be okay. But Croatia are ranked 11th by FIFA. And they've got some good players. They've got Ivan Perisic, who's playing for them still. They've still got Luka Modric, who is, how old is he now? He's 40.
Getting on it.
He's 40. Who else have they got? They got Kovacic, who's still playing for City. Yeah.
He's 32.
They got Vardiol at left back. They got Livakovic, who's quite a good goalkeeper, who's had a good tournament with them in the Euros, I think, last time.
Yeah,
they got Stanisic. Yeah, Kramaric up top, Budimir. They've got Stanisic at right back, who's playing for Bayern. They've got a decent team.
Yeah.
But there are levels to this game. I think we should dispatch them. I think. Should we do our predictions now, or should we have a little chat first? Because
let me go through our head-to-head.
Okay.
Done a bit of research into this. So, we played them on quite a few occasions: Euros qualifications, World Cup qualifications, etc. Even touching the Nations League. So we go back the furthest start off with. Okay, so June 2004, England play Croatia 1-4-2. You had Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes, and Wayne Rooney getting a double that game. Then we skip forward 2 years. So this is a Euro qualification. They're in the same group. Croatia beat us on both occasions in those games. They won a 2-0, and they also beat us 3-2. We skip forward to 2008. And 2009, so this is our World Cup qualifications. England beat them 4-1 in 2008 and 5-1 in 2009. So that's quite a hefty scoreline, isn't it? That'd be lovely to see in this World Cup.
Yes, please.
Then we'll go to 2018 FIFA World Cup.
This is the outstanding game, in my opinion.
Yeah, so this was 11th of July. After extra time, Croatia beat us 2-1 with a Mandzukic
semi-final, by the way.
Yeah, in the 109th minute. So that was massive. That was. I remember that. Another year of hurt, mate. For England fans.
Mate, our starting lineup was awful.
Yeah,
mate. We played a back three. We had Jesse Lingard, Jordan Henderson, Ashley Young. No,
Ashley Young. Our back three was Maguire, Stones, and Walker. And
Dele
our
Alli.
Front two, Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane.
Yeah, Harry Kane at that time was playing for Tottenham, and he was just, yeah, he didn't do anything that game.
Nope. And
Who
we
was
had
our manager?
Southgate,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Southgate,
Yeah.
obviously.
And
Yeah.
we had 4 players come on: Danny Rose, Eric Dyer, Marcus Rashford, and Jamie Vardy. Wow, how times have changed.
When did they come on? They came on at the end of the game. So they came on after it was 1-1. So those were attacking changes, mate.
And then we went on
We
to lose
brought on.
a game.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Our bench has drastically improved. I
I think
think
that's a big
I
thing
think
for
we're
us, though.
solid. Yeah, I think we're more solid, and the game has less riding on it as well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Um,
I th-
right, and then we're skipped to 2018 as well. So this is a few months after. So this is in the Nations League. Played them twice. One in October, we drew 0-0, and one in November, we beat them 2-1. Goals from Harry Kane and Jesse Lingard in that game. And then last time we encountered them was in June 2021 in the Euros, and a Raheem Sterling goal won us that game. So in terms of head-to-head, we kind of smack them on that, really, don't we? But there are times across those years where they've also beaten us. We've said about that semi-final game, so
we've got to be careful, haven't we?
yep.
But I think if Stones is the talking point. Him or Guehi. Madueke, I do not want starting. I want Saka starting. Gordon or Rashford, I'm not too fussed. Depends what Tuchel sees tactically. Each one, whether he wants them going down the line or tucking in.
Yep.
Bellingham's a shoe-in. Kane's a starter.
No doubt about
Pickford's a
that.
starter. O'Reilly and James are starters. Konza, right? Our centre-back Konza, Ezra Konza. Do you know what he against Costa Rica, one of the best players on the pitch yet again. Solid at the
Yep.
back. Line splitting passes. He's brilliant. I really like Konza, and I think he should get a big move in the summer. I don't think he will, but I think he might deserve it. He's a really, really good profile in that centre half role
Agreed.
against a more defensive sided one. He's just brilliant at bringing that ball forward. And hopefully we see it against Croatia.
Yeah, let's hope so. What about your middle two? Your kind of defensive midfielders.
Do we need to say that? It's Anderson and Rice, isn't it?
Good,
Who else
good,
is
good.
starting?
Just checking. You never know. You could
Mainu.
chuck in Jordan Henderson there.
Oh mate, let's not joke about here. Let's not joke about. Like I do want to bring up Kobe Mainu, who I think has had a really good cameos in the first 2 games. He's come on and he looks really solid. He's confident at driving the ball forward as well.
Yep.
Rodgers, we will see whether he starts or not. I don't think he will
I
start. I
don't
think
think he's
Bellingham
going
will
to
start.
start. Yeah.
But I think Rodgers will come on and he'll have an impact. Yeah, and Watkins might come in, but probably not.
I think he's on off a bench player as well, really, isn't he? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's flip to Croatia. We don't talk about the lineup, but they're predicted to play a 3-4-1-2, which is surprising. Going 3 at the back, personally, against an England side who can produce goals, especially with a front three if you're going Saka, Bellingham, Gordon, and Kane.
Interesting.
It's very
Against
Belgium,
Belgium,
isn't it?
it is risky. And against Belgium, they played their 3 back and got found out heavy.
Yeah.
They lost 2-0 against Belgium in their first friendly. Tielemans and Lukaku scored. And then they played a 4-back against Slovenia.
And only just beat
And
them,
they
really.
only
93rd
just
minute
beat
goal.
them from Pasalic, yes.
So
You'll know a lot about Pasalic. Did he play for?
no.
No, there's another Pasalic used to play for Chelsea. Yeah, close result. They looked pretty solid at the back. Their defence got loads of good ratings.
I just think against an England side who can produce something big, it's very risky for Croatia. I'm not complaining as an England fan, but if you're looking at it from a neutral angle, I think it's risky. I mean, that's obviously predicted. We've got plenty of days before the actual game, so that can all change. But whether they do go to forward back to, kind of hold out their own against England, I don't know.
I can't see them going three at the back against us.
No,
I think they'll go four at the back. I think they'll go three at the back against like the Panamas of this world.
Yeah.
But they not against us, surely, right? And if they do, I'd like to see us punish them.
Even Ghana, to be honest, they're going to probably go through the back, aren't they? Should be an easy game to win.
Yeah.
But this is just going to be massive. One massive game on Wednesday.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock kickoff, yeah. Make sure you catch us live as well. We're going to do a watch along, our first one. So please join in on that. All you got to do is search up TheHatTrick Extra Time.
Stick the football on, right? And then on your phone next to you, just stick us on. Okay, but it's like we'll be there next to you watching the game.
Yep, get involved, drop us a chat. We'd love to hear from you all as we're doing the watch along. So
it'll be great fun.
It'll be absolutely brilliant. Potentially probably do it on Twitch, won't we? Would be the best method.
Think so.
So get on us, TheHatTrick on Twitch. And yeah, join us. It'd be awesome.
Right, predictions.
Oh, here we go. The best bit. Okay. I mean, I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people. I think a lot of people probably think it'll be close. But I'm going with a 2-1 England.
Oh, you think we're going to concede?
I think Jordan Pickford's going to make an error.
Do you?
I do. And I say that because in our friendlies, he's not been tested at all. Last thing he's been really tested is back in, in the Premier League. So looking at a few weeks.
There was one time, I think, in the Costa Rica game where he almost got caught out. Do you remember?
Yep.
I
do think, and maybe it's not a right out error where he kicks into the path of, the attack or whatever. I think Croatia have got some quality in there. You talk about Modric. Yes, he's old, but he's still a world-class player. He always will be, really. We always spoken about. And I think a little bit of magic from one of them and a slight error from Jordan Pickford, I think that's going to get them their goal.
Do you know what? I'm going to back the boys. I'm going to say... I'm thinking between 1-0 or 2-0. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if we go 1-0 and then just park the bus, or we get a set. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go with my heart. My head says 1-0, my heart says 2-0. I'm going to go with my heart, I'm going to say 2-0.
There you go. So, yeah, so I've gone 2-1, Jack's gone 2-0. So, we'll review that on our next podcast, see what we're doing with them. Right, we'll move on to our kind of final bit of our podcast today, which is another new introduction into this called Far From the Truth. Nice little play of words that is, really. And simply what that is we're going to look at a VAR call across a week, a correct refereeing call, and we're just going to twist it into some conspiracy theory about why he's made that decision. We'd also like you to get involved, so please, drop down a potential call you've seen this week and just chuck a conspiracy theory against it. Jack, do you want to go first on this, mate?
I'll go first.
Go on.
And it's going to be that Mexico game. I think it was one of the most insane opening World Cup games of all time. Team-wise, no, but you said off air, like off stream, about there being 3 red cards, or I heard somewhere 3 red cards in the whole of the last World Cup.
Yeah, that was, right? Yeah.
And I'm not going to put anything against the referee in the first game because I think they were red cards. I think South Africa were absolutely nuts. But, okay, I think there's something fishy going on. I think 3 red cards in the first game. I think these FA officials, FIFA officials, I think they were like, Right, I think I'm going to put a bet on. I think there's more than 3 cards in this World Cup. Okay, this World Cup, not in one game, by the way. This whole World Cup, I think there's going to be
Got me one of 3
more
red
than
cards.
3. Right. So this referee is taking it upon himself. Okay, he's part of the whole thing. He's taking it upon himself, right? And he's gone, right. Let's secure this bet on the first game.
Cash up got up to £200.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, just 1, 2, 3. 3 red cards. There you go. He's hoping for there to be a 4th red card at some point in the next 49 games in this World Cup. Let's see. Let's see, huh?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, like, come on, 3 red cards in one game when there was only 3 in the last one. VAR is a joke. VAR from the truth.
VAR from the truth, absolutely. That's incredible. A bit more serious. I want to touch on those 3 red cards, especially one, the slap. So I know there's been a lot of controversy around that. Now, you given that as a red card? A lot of people said he's kind of just used his hand and kind of using his hand to get away from the player.
Mate, I'll be honest. I think it's careless from the South Africa player. I think over in South Africa for the Sundowns or whatever team he plays for, I think they slap each other for fun. And I think honestly, I think they slap each. I think they get away with it, and I think the FIFA refs are having none of it, mate. You can't do this in America, mate.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Take a walk.
Yeah. Slap each other fun, right? You score. Hey, there you go, bang.
Slap, red card. See you later.
Oh, that's incredible.
What, do you not think it was a red?
I do. I've just heard a lot of speculation over people who've said, well, actually, he's just trying to use his hand to move away. But the way he's done it, and again, people have said about, violent conduct. Is it aggressive and stuff like that?
It's not violent conduct. Let's get that clear.
I mean, we'll go back to the Premier League, Arsenal versus Man City, where Gabriel moved his head towards Haaland. Now, that's a red card for me as well. Because
it's almost whether
it's excessive force or not, it's still a violent conduct. He's moving his head towards him to headbutt him. Whether he goes down or not, I think that makes a difference, really. If Haaland goes down and starts rolling around and holding his head, I think he gives a red card. I think it's the same situation. And I think the difference is the Mexico player is holding his head rolling around on the floor. That's the only difference I can get. Haaland stood up there laughing at Gabriel, like, come on then. What are you going to do, mate?
Let's be honest. That slap on the back of the head, he didn't feel it, did
he?
He was alright.
No, he felt a little touch. It's like, ref!
Let's get this guy sent off. See you later.
Right. Yeah, it is for me. It's violent conduct. I'm not being funny. You don't turn around and you're not pushing away, are you? You've gone and you clearly used your hand to slap his face. It's intentional. It's not like it's natural movement. It's intentional. He's intentionally done that to get away from the player. So, to me, it's violent conduct. Red card.
Those South Africans, mate.
Yeah, silly, innit? Right, okay, so I'll go on to my VAR from the truth. So, I mean, again, I'll go back to the South Africa-Mexico game, of course. There's the biggest talking point.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, some people haven't heard this, but the referee, Wilton Sampaio, actually announced a VAR decision over the speakers, and he done it in English. Now, we need to talk about Sampaio's microphone announcement, all right? Now, everyone thinks, he's just struggling with the English language, but I'm calling VAR from the truth on this, all right? That wasn't English, okay? Definitely not. That was a coded high-frequency radio signal that was sent to FIFA, okay, to confirm that the script for the tournament is locked in, all right?
Yeah. 3 red cards.
3 red cards sorted, mate. The scripts is done. We know who's winning it already. Or his headset was picking up a drive-through order from a local Wendy's outside the stadium. There is no way a human being willingly made those noises, mate.
Joe,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to put you out on record here. I want you to try and say what he said.
Slap. Red. God. I'm doing the action showing a red card as well, just so you guys know.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I mean, the visual cues obviously secured that it's a red card, but
Mate,
if you couldn't really understand, he slapped him. It's a red card, mate.
Red card.
Yeah.
But everything else was like, oh, I'm not sure about that.
I'm pretty sure that's what everyone.
Gibberish, mate. Bless him, man. English
Poor
is not his
bloke,
first
mate.
Language. Bless
Poor
him.
bloke,
Bless
yeah.
him.
We'll let him
But
off.
maybe it was a code for his guys in the office.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Okay.
you could be onto something.
Mexico have got to win this. It's in Mexico. We've got to win this. So I'm not getting out of the stadium alive, mate.
Or honestly, you might be onto something. You might be onto something.
Get the Mexican mafia after me, mate. No. I'll give him a red card. I'm sorry. Oh man, that's brilliant. Yeah, we'd love to get your comments. On that. Who had the best VAR from the truth? Also share your VAR from the truth.
Yours is nuts, mate. You can take that one. You can take that one.
Yeah, win already. But yeah, we'd love to hear your ones in the comments down below. Yeah, bloody brilliant, isn't it? Right, I mean, we covered pretty much everything there. Anything else you want to add on, Jack, mate?
No, just like, come on, England, mate. Come on, smash the Croatians.
Stop the hurt, please.
Oh, please, man. We got to win this game.
Yeah, too many years of hurt.
Honestly, yeah. No, so, yeah, I'm predicting Kane penalty, Rashford cutting and shot, 2-0, smash.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
60 years of hurt, mate. My tears have all dried up. That's how bad it is. I'm hoping they do something. But yeah, please, jump on our watch along on Wednesday at 9 p.m. for our brilliant England game. To see whether we actually do it or not. We love talking about it, giving you some insights, but we really, it'd be intriguing to get your comments while we're watching it.
Mate,
live,
I hope it's going to be
like
a fun watch along, mate. If we lose, man, it's going to be the worst watch along of all time.
It is, especially for our first one. Come on, England, do us a favour here.
Oh, please, honestly.
FIFA, script it. Yeah,
FIFA, we're doing a watch along, please, just for us.
We need to win it.
Next week's VAR from the truth is the hat-trick did the watch along, so the England deliberately won just for us.
Too right, mate.
Right.
Oh god. Right. Okay. Well, that's the final whistle for episode 2 of a hat-trick extra time. Obviously, Tuchel's got a lot of work to do before the tournament, and so do we. Actually, preparing for our watch along.
Yeah, you've got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, I have. If you actually survived mine and Jimka's tactical breakdowns today, do us a massive favour and hit that subscribe button. We are officially live across Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we're also going to upload them to YouTube as well. So drop us a 5-star review.
Yeah, get some of your friends to listen to us as well. I heard that a few people have listened to it. I hope you enjoy our little insight. We have a bit of a laugh. I'd like to think we have a bit of insight into it as well. If you have anyone who wants to listen to us,
please
get
do.
Get them involved.
Like Jack said, we got a bit of here and there knowledge about it. Maybe we'll go into that maybe one time. About our histories in football. That'd be really good, actually.
I think we should.
But yeah, please leave us a 5-star review. Unless you're a Costa Rica fan, then you may as well keep scrolling. Maybe Croatia Wednesday. But yeah, we're heading straight from mics to the pitch. So catch us live on our watch along on Wednesday. You can also catch us live on our brilliant FIFA stream, Pro Club stream on Thursday. Maybe not so brilliant. But yeah, all the links to our socials. Catch us on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and so on. I'll try and put them into the description somewhere so you guys can jump on them straight away. Other than that, stay safe. Come on, England! And we'll catch you in the next one. We're out.
See you later, guys. Thank you.